It's time for another recipe, foodie friends. And tonight I'm going to be doing a copycat recipe of my boyfriend's enchiladas. For the chicken, we're just keeping it simple with some rotisserie from the grocery store. Then you already know the OGs, onion powder and garlic powder. Then we're coming in with some tomato bouillon. Then we got some red seasonings, which is the chili powder and some paprika. And last but not least, we are bringing the Fiesta with some Fiesta lime seasoning. And then a drum roll for the tomato sauce that I'll be using. So I'm going to grab the pan that I'll be using for the tomato sauce. And I'm using some full-size cans. Sorry, I don't remember the size, and I already threw out the trash, so I'm sure you can find the same sizes of tomato sauce. I then fill up the 2 cans with some water and pour it into the tomato sauce. And now I'm going to season it with 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of tomato bouillon, 2 teaspoons of paprika, and then my life flashed before my eyes because then the tomato sauce became violent. So I put a splash screen there, and now I'm gonna finish off with some chili powder, and I'm doing about a teaspoon. And then I'm doing some sprinkles of that Fiesta lime seasoning. Now I'm going to stir carefully, and you're gonna wanna do this throughout the process, just stirring it. And then I have a cup of water, but I'm going to add half for now, and I'm just gonna see how the process goes. The logic is to thin out the sauce. And then I'm going to regret my life decisions here because tomato sauce is not easy to cook. To cut down on the acidity and that raw taste, I'm adding sugar. I ended up adding about 2 teaspoons. And then it looks like I'm gonna have to add some more water. So I add the remaining cup. And the sauce is still hurting me, so I put some foil there. And now we wait for a really long time. I think I waited like an hour and a half for the sauce to cook and taste like the sauce that I know. Because the thing is, you want to keep it on a lower heat. I ended up adding another cup of water, and just remember to continue to stir the sauce so that it's not burning at the bottom. I'm then going to start on my tortillas. I'm using white corn tortillas, and I don't know how much oil I used, but that just depends on your preference, I guess. And you pretty much want to cook these slightly crispy. I don't think I cooked them long enough, but you don't really realize that until you start to dip them in the sauce and they kind of lose their integrity. But I'm letting you know now that was my mistake. Next time, I will keep them in longer. You're not quite looking for a tostada, but you're looking for a crispiness that can hold their own, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense, but you just want it to hold that tomato sauce. Here I am adding another cup of water because the sauce is still too thick. And now it looks a lot better. But because I added so much water, I'm going to add half a tablespoon of tomato bouillon and another teaspoon of chili powder. Mix it all together and simmer a little bit more. While the sauce is simmering, I am going to shred the rotisserie chicken. And then I'm going to preheat the oven for 375. And this is the crispy-ish tortilla. and I'm just trying the sauce, and it tastes good. The flavor is there. It could be thinner, but I'm giving up and going with the sauce that I have. So here is where I discovered that I needed to crisp up the tortilla a little bit more. It started to rip a little bit, but not too much. And I'm just gonna repeat this process for all of the enchiladas that I'm making. Now that I have the first layer, I'm going to throw some cheese on there, a generous amount, but you can do whatever you want. And then I'm gonna pour some more of that sauce on there and then get the second layer going, which there aren't that many. I did 12 of these. I could have done plenty more, but I was done with this recipe. I wanted to go to bed. Now I throw it into the oven, and I throw it in for 15 minutes, and this is the result. Oh. And for the side, I'm just doing some street corn with frozen corn. So if you're curious, I'm throwing in about 2 tablespoons of butter, maybe a little less. Then 2 honky spoonfuls of mayo, grated Parmesan cheese, and some chili powder. I didn't do nothing fancy, because again, I just want to go to bed at this point. But look at this, it looks so good. And I had to take a pill before I put all that cheese in my mouth. Cheese pool, ooh, ooh. I drop it because, again, I didn't fry the tortillas long enough, but man, it is so good. It is so good. I did a great job copying my boyfriend's recipe. Granted, he uses a homemade salsa for his sauce with real tomatoes and peppers, but you know what? I'm proud of myself. This is really good. And now I'm gonna try the street corn. Yes, I did that. I did that. It's so good. This food is really good. So, despite it taking 100 years, I would say it's worth it. It was worth the hundreds of years to make that sauce. I think I'll probably regret it tomorrow because I work, but whatever. This is good.